I need to think about it. Sure, usually when I hear that, it means one of two things, rate or the term. When they're saying they need to think about it, it's not a real objection. It's them not knowing how to get off the phone, and usually what's behind that is price. So I want you to keep that in mind. What's so great about this industry is that the objections, really are just a few things. It's like rate, term, and then the subcategories underneath that is you're battling someone, right? And why would someone go with someone that is battling you? It's because they have a better rate or a better term or a higher dollar amount. So keep that in mind. There's pros and there's cons. And with this, one of the pros is there's really only a few things that are going to be roadblocks to you getting them the funding. Okay, so that's number one. When they say I need to think about it, sure, 100% I'm with you. And usually when I hear that, it's like, I don't know, the money is cost too much or it's not enough. Like, just so I know, what are some things that you want to think about? Boom, that's settled. Okay, number two, send me an email. No problem. Just so I know what to include on the email, what would you like more info on? I'm going to go right past this and go into the real objection. So when they say to you that, again, it's a smoke screen. You want to get past the smoke screen and find out what the real cause is, okay? So send me an email. Sure, no problem. I'm going to get that ready for you. I'll send something out. Now, just so I know what to include, what are some of the concerns you might have? Is it the rate? Is it the price? When you need the capital, however you're going to spin it, you're going to go past that into what they're really thinking. And this is going to take practice. But when you're talking to people a lot and you really know your product and you become an expert advisor, this is naturally like going to flow out. They might say, well, I don't really have the need right this second. My job isn't coming up for 2 months. And then you're going to be like, okay, that makes sense. So what type of job is it? How many guys, what is the cost of materials? Nice. What type of, client is this? Is this a new client, old client? You're going to build rapport and kind of get past the initial objections. Okay, so the last one, the rate is too high. There's many different ways to rescue a cat on this one, but just to start, a baseline is, look, I hear you. The rate reflects the risk parameters of bridge funding, which is what this is. This is bridge funding, I'll be happy to price out something that's more conventional, like an SBA line of credit or term loan. What's your credit score? Now, from there, when they tell you the credit score, let's say it's 650, okay? Now we're going to talk about the conventional products. We're going to talk about SBAs, lines of credit. We're going to start asking about their financials. Is everything filed? How do you look on gross revenue and then, net income? Let's talk about depreciation. Whatever it is, that's a different, subject. Now, if they say 650 or lower, right, then I'm going to say, gotcha. So what exactly is bringing the score down? It's not hateful, but usually our partners at the banks, they want to have at least a 650 minimum. And if you're close enough, it's possible with some credit memos, we can kind of, get past that. But just so I know, what is the situation? Is it inquiries? Is it late payments? Is it utilizations? Usually it's utilizations. And if that's the case, you can really do a deep dive on that. Because think about it. Let's say they have some cards that need to be paid off. As soon as those cards are paid off, their score is going to increase. So that's how you can kind of frame it. Now I would go to something like, look, what was the original purpose of the capital? It was to make payroll. Okay. So we do need the capital, right? But we want to get better things. So, this isn't a bait and switch. But why don't we get you the funding you need and then work on your credit? I mean, really, maybe if I can get you another 5 or 10K, you can pay off your credit cards, which I don't just suggest getting a funding just for that because the rates are it's not going to make sense. Paying, let's say 40, 50, 50% factor rate on something that's 20 or 25 or even 30%. But if it's specifically to lower the utilizations, that might make sense and that could be a conversation. So we'll get that done. We'll get you the funding. We'll work on doing this. Or if it's or if it's inquiries, late payments, collections, then we're talking about repairing their credit and doing credit counseling and helping them out, whether you do it yourself or you send them to a referral partner. So there's many different ways around it. So just the main thing is this: when they say the rate is too high, you want to say this is bridge funding. That's what this is. It serves a purpose. You're getting the money within hours. There's very little underwriting. If you want to go to the Chase, Wells Fargo, some of the SBA banks, Live Oak, Newity, Colony, they're going to take 3 to 4 weeks. They're going to do a full underwriting. They're going to do legal compliance. You're going to have to get assigned an underwriter. It's going to take a long time, which I have no problem getting done for you. But let's go ahead and qualify you for those products. That's when you're going to go into which one is it. Is 650 or higher or 650 or under? Now that can even work. That ties into everything else. If they need to think about it because it might be about the rate's too high, or send me an email, the rate's too high. Now that leads into all of this. Okay, well, I wish you would have told me the rate was too high. I'm looking to get you something immediately, like today. Let's kind of qualify you. If you can wait a few weeks and we have everything qualified, I'm more than happy to get you something more conventional. I don't want to push this down your throat. I'm looking to have repeat business. I want to be your finance partner. Whenever you need capital, I want you to call us. So why don't we kind of continue the conversation? So what is credit score? Boom, now you're back in. Hope this helped.